Hello, welcome back to Coded Cooking. Today we're making chicken and dumplings. In particular, we're making my lower carb version of chicken and dumplings. There are as many ways to make dumplings as there are people, and I've done most of them. From making real puffy ones, a guy that I used to work with used to make these and he would steam them and they came out looking like snowballs. They were gorgeous. They were like that. Or a lot of people like to make it more like a pasta, make it a little harder and roll it out. Those for me tend to be a bit of a gut bomb. So I like mine to puff up a little bit. So moving towards the low carb way of doing stuff, I've been working with this stuff, carbquick. It is 90% less carbs than whatever. So the specs on this are for a third of a cup of this, you got 2 grams of carbs. So that's the good news. The bad news is sometimes you get a little funky flavor out of it. Now this carbquick is carbulose flour made into like Bisquick. So it's got baking powder in there and some salt and seasonings and stuff like that. So it'll puff up on its own. You can make pancakes with it. You can make biscuits with it. I would warn against just blindly following the recipes on the box. I've had to manipulate almost all of them. So for just the plain, simple biscuit recipe on the box, it calls for 2 cups of carbquick and a third of a cup of flour, something like that. A third of a cup of water. So what I'm doing is I'm going somewhere in the middle. This is whole wheat flour, so yes, it's going to add some carbs, but we're still saving some carbs at the end of the day. Now, the old dumpling recipe that I made for years and years and years had oil, it had an egg in it, and salt and pepper. Because of this having the baking powder and all that, we're not going to add any eggs or anything. It doesn't need it. It will need some seasoning. But most importantly, we're going to do this by texture. So, mix the dry ingredients together. This is maybe a 1/4 cup of parsley and 2 or 3 scallions chopped up. I bought a 4-pound chicken for this, roasted it, and made the stock out of that. I like to roast it. You can, and I've known lots of people that have, that would put a pot of water on the stove and oop, that's the end of that. And literally put the whole chicken in there and let it cook. You can do that. It doesn't have as much flavor. If you roast it, you get a lot more flavor out of the chicken and the stock. So I roasted the chicken. I made my chicken stock. It's going in the pot behind me. So like a biscuit dough, I don't want to overmix this because then you've got too much gluten going on. And if I wasn't using the carbquick with my old recipe, the texture I was looking for would be almost soupy. I have found that with this stuff, soupy gets you, the dumplings just blow up in the pan. And no bueno. The chicken you see in the bowl here is half of that roast chicken. Obviously, you use as much as you want. Okay, this is about good. So it's looking like a dough more than a batter, and that's okay. Like I said, with my experience with this carb stuff is that it wants to blow up. There's a lot of baking powder in it. Now, I also have gotten the straight carbulose flour. It is difficult to work with. It's great to make pasta with, anything that you're not expecting it to rise. If you want to make pizza or bread or anything like that, you have to at least double the amount of yeast you're going to use. So let's make some dumplings. I don't like them too big, about that size. They are going to blow up a little bit. And I'm using this this sautoir because it gives the dumplings a lot of space to move and expand. Now, if you don't want to go through all the problem of making chicken stock, you know what? Put some water and chicken base in there, call it a day. We're a little bit crowded here, but it'll be okay. So now I'm going to cook these for about half an hour, and about halfway through I'm going to turn them over. Or you can put a lid on it, turn it down, and then just cook it like that for at least a half an hour. We'll be back. Okay, come on in. You can see they blew up, but they didn't blow up. They got bigger, but they're nice and soft, nice and tender. This is the way I like them. I don't like them to be too hard or too soft. So now we go in with the chicken. You'll also notice that the stock has thickened up because some of the starch came out of the dumplings. So the sauce is nice. It's thick, just the way I like it. I did need to add a little salt and pepper to this, which I've already done. So, chicken and dumplings. The carbquick makes it really easy. As you can see, it's not hard at all. If you don't want to go through the process of roasting a chicken, go to Costco or your grocery store and buy a roasted chicken, pick it off and pick the meat out, and there you go. Chicken and dumplings. My kids grew up on this stuff. Here you go. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Grumpy out.